Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. The message arrived at 2:17 a.m., glowing against the dark ceiling like something alive. I'm sorry. I didn't know how else to tell you. Sarah. For a few seconds I didn't even recognize the name. My mind was slow with sleep, drifting somewhere between dreams and the soft breathing of my wife beside me. Then it clicked. Sarah was his wife. My best friend Daniel's wife. I stared at the screen waiting for the rest of the message to appear, as if my phone might correct itself and turn this into something harmless. It didn't. Another text came through. You deserve to know the truth. About them. My chest tightened in a way that felt physical, like a hand pressing inward. I turned my head slowly toward my wife Lena. She was sleeping on her side, hair falling across her cheek, looking exactly the way she had for 8 years beside me. Familiar, safe home. For a moment I almost laughed. This had to be a mistake. Looking back, the signs were small enough to ignore. That was the cruelest part. Lena had started taking her phone everywhere, even to the bathroom. She smiled at messages she wouldn't explain, then said I was imagining things when I asked. Daniel had been busy for months, canceling our weekly dinners, replying late, sounding distracted. I told myself this was adulthood. People drift. Schedules change. Marriages go through quiet seasons. I trusted them. Completely. He was the man who stood beside me at my wedding. She was the woman who cried when she promised forever. Trust makes you blind in gentle ways. Doesn't feel like blindness. Feels like love. I didn't answer Sarah that night. I just lay there, staring into the darkness, listening to Lena breathe, wondering when breathing beside someone stopped meaning you knew them. Morning came like nothing had changed. Lena kissed my cheek before work. She asked if I wanted pasta for dinner. She reminded me to call my mother. Every ordinary word felt staged, like we were actors who had forgotten the script but kept smiling anyway. At noon I finally replied. What truth? The typing dots appeared instantly, then disappeared, then came back. They've been seeing each other for 6 months. I found messages, photos. I'm sorry. 6 months. I tried to measure that time in memories. Birthdays, movie nights, random Tuesday mornings. All of it suddenly contaminated, like water I'd already swallowed. My hands started shaking, slow at first, then uncontrollable. I locked myself in the office restroom so no one would see. There's a specific kind of pain that isn't loud. It doesn't scream. It just hollows you out quietly, like something removing the center of your life piece by piece. I confronted Lena that evening with nothing but my voice and a question I could barely force out. Is there something you want to tell me? She froze in the kitchen doorway. Just for a second. But a second is enough when you're watching for cracks. No, she said softly. Why? I nodded like I believed her. Then I showed her the message. The silence that followed was heavier than any argument. She didn't deny it. Didn't shout. Didn't even cry at first. She just sat down like her legs had given up. I never meant to hurt you, she whispered. That sentence, so gentle, so useless, broke something in me. 6 months, I said. You meant it every day. Tears finally came to her eyes. I felt invisible. We stopped talking. Daniel listened. I almost laughed at the simplicity of it. Years of marriage reduced to he listened. And you? I asked. Did you listen to me when I trusted you? She didn't answer. Because there wasn't an answer that could survive the truth. I met Daniel 2 days later. Not to fight. Not even to yell. Just to see his face and understand how someone you love like a brother becomes a stranger. He looked exhausted. Ashamed. Smaller somehow. I'm sorry, he said immediately. Everyone was sorry. Sorry was everywhere. Sorry changed nothing. Why? I asked. He rubbed his eyes. I don't even know anymore. It just happened. Nothing ever just happens. Choices stack quietly until they collapse a life. I left without shaking his hand. A week passed in a blur of quiet rooms and unfinished thoughts. Lena moved to her sister's place. The apartment felt too large, like every wall was echoing memories I didn't want. That's when Sarah asked to meet. We sat across from each other in a small cafe that smelled like burnt coffee and rain. She looked as tired as I felt. I didn't tell you to destroy anything, she said gently. I told you because living in a lie is worse. I nodded, unable to speak. For a long time we just sat there, two strangers connected by the same fracture. Then she did something small. She reached her hand across the table. Not romantic. Not dramatic. Just human. I hesitated, then held it. And in that quiet contact, I felt something unexpected. Not relief. Not happiness. But less alone. People think betrayal ends your story. Doesn't. It just forces you to begin again without the life you planned. Months later, the pain is quieter. Still there like an old scar that aches in cold weather. But I'm breathing differently now. Standing differently. I learned that love without honesty is just comfort wearing a mask. I learned that trust, once broken, teaches you who you really are without it. And I learned that sometimes healing doesn't arrive as forgiveness. Sometimes it arrives as a simple hand across a table, reminding you that even after everything collapses, you're still here.